All right, guys, so let's look at an equation with multiple transformations here. So we've got y equals -2 times the square root of x minus 2. Okay, all kinds of stuff going on here. Okay, we've got a multiplier here being multiplied by 2, which means we're going to stretch the graph by a factor of 2. So that means each of our y values is going to be doubled. Okay, and then we've also got this -2 under the radicand. So that means it's going to translate or shift, and it's negative. Don't forget, when we shift negative, when we're doing a translation, horizontally, it's opposite. So negative actually means to the right in this case. So let's go ahead and give this a try. All right, so our first coordinate is 0, 0. Okay, well, we want to increase the y by a factor of 2. Well, 2 times 0 is still just 0. But we are going to, so the y is going to be 0. So we're still here, but we are going to shift it to the right 2 places. So we're going to be at 2, 0. Okay, now let's look at our next coordinate. It's at 1, 1. Okay, well, for the y, we're going to increase that by a factor of 2. So for the y value, 1 times 2. So we're going to multiply that by 2. So we multiplied this by 2. Okay, and then we added 2 here. Okay, so that was 2, 0. So 1 times 2, our y value is going to be 2. And our x value, we are subtracting, or excuse me, adding 2 because we're going 2 places to the right. Okay, so we're going to go increase by a factor of 2. So 1 goes up, 1 times 2 is 2. And then we're going to move it to the right 2 spaces, 1, 2. Okay, and then don't forget it's reflected. So I'm going to put a little baby dot right there because we're actually going to move that though. Okay, so don't forget it's negative. Our multiplier is a negative. So we're actually multiplying by a -2. By -2, so that means we're going to flip it over the x-axis. So it was at +2, which means it needs to be at -2. Okay, and so we'll make that -2. And then we're at 1 plus 2 is 3 on the x. Okay, so keep in mind on this translation, we just went up by a factor of 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then we went to the right 2 places. Okay, looking at the next coordinate, we're going to multiply that one by -2. Okay, well, and so this was here at 4, 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, and then move to the right 2 places. So 1, 2. So that's at 8, 5, but we don't really want to be at 8, 5. We want to be at -8, 5 because we multiplied by, oops, did I do that wrong again? Hang on a second here. 4, 2, I'm sorry. 2 times 2 is 4, my fault. 2 times 2 is 4. So disregard what I just said. 2 times 2 is 4. I was doing it backwards. And then to the right 2. Okay, so we're at 4, 2, so we're going to be at 6, 4. If we just follow the math, okay, we're just going to follow the math. Okay, so we're adding 2 to the x, and we're multiplying the y by -2. So that's going to give us 6, -4, -4. Okay, so we'll make that, I was supposed to be a little dot, sorry. Okay, and now we're going this way. We can see this thing's getting stretched out. And then for this last one, we're going to multiply by -2. And then we're going to add 2. We can just transform. It's probably easier just to do the math here. So 4 times -2 is -8. And 9 plus 2 is 11. So we're going to go at 9 and then go 10, 11, 10, 11. So if you ever run out of room in your graph, just do your best. And then we're going to go down to -8. Which is right about there. Okay, so as long as you have your table of values here to show me what the points are, and your graph kind of matches it, well, you can see that we're a little bit off here. I'm going to go ahead and redo that. 11, 8. Yeah, so that's when you can't draw to scale, this is kind of what you end up with. Oh, I'll put it out there a little further, that way that makes sense. Okay, so you can see now our graph, 1, 2, 3, there's our 4 points. You can see that our graph has been stretched as it goes a little bit further down. Okay, so our y value is a little bit bigger. It's shifted to the right 2 places for each spot, and it's reflected across the x-axis, which is why it is pointing downward. Okay, and that is an example of a multiple transformation. They can come in lots of different ways. We could have vertical translations, horizontal translations, okay, dilations that are positive or negative, and the negative makes it reflect across the x-axis. And that's how we do multiple transformations.